team. You know, he was a very, very big influence on them winning a lot of games. And they're taking a chance here, see how well Moon does work out.
Yeah, and we have now entered Champion Select. As you can see, Azir banned away from FeniX. Very strong comfort pick for him. So Team Liquid now going through the typical conversation. Is it Swain? Is it Nidalee? Is it going to be Vladimir?
Yeah, Vladimir especially was made a lot of heads turn yesterday. Seraph took it in the top lane, split push very effectively. So Vladimir going to be off the table quickly from Team Liquid side. Agree with that ban there. The Swain that you bring up, also extremely strong as of 6.10, the current patch that we are playing on.
Some very strong champions available for Envy as Zyra is banned away from Matt. You know, I would peg Matt as a Zyra player. He's so great on Bard, and Zyra kind of fits that Emma.
Yeah, a lot of the supports have jumped on this support Zyra train. She puts out so much damage. She also scales really well. Plus, there's the fact that Envy banned it in both of their blue side games yesterday, so they really do not want to play against the Zyra. And it's just kind of a overall power ban for them right here. Ryze going to follow that up. Also finds himself on the ban list quite often.
Yeah, Nidalee taken away from Procxin. Very strong jungler. We'll see what he sort of falls back to. So far, that Swain is still open in Team Liquid. I'm sure it's going through their heads right now. The final ban is, in fact, going to be Kindred.
Yeah, so both of the junglers, they opt not to give one of the tier 1 junglers away. They'd rather play into the Swain. And there are things you can do, you know, try and cut the healing of Swain, which is very, very necessary. You need some sort of grievous wounds on your team. If you're going to face that, Team Liquid, they feel like this is the lesser of two evils. We'll face the Swain rather than having to face the uphill battle of, you know, fighting a Nidalee or Kindred while not having Nidalee or Kindred.
Yeah, and Piglet is a pretty intelligent guy. I can see him getting that Executioner's Calling pretty early on, but Swain has been locked in for Envy. Now Team Liquid looking to make their first picks of the summer split. Ekko is still open. Lourlo does play a pretty mean Ekko, and it is locked in along with that Lucian.
Yeah, this is one of the champions that Lourlo has put the most amount of time in. He has practiced Ekko from the very beginning of when Ekko first emerged as one of the power picks in the top lane. So he's very, very at home on this champion, as you know, many top laners are with the current success of that champion. But not only is it a very strong pick in the current meta, but also for him, very comfortable. And that's always what you want for Team Liquid. Lourlo on a comfortable champion up in that top lane, because a lot of the times they do live and die by the success of their solo laners.
We'll see how Lourlo does. Of course, he's going to be paired with that new jungler, so maybe the attention he receives during the game is going to be a bit different. But Envy locking in that Graves and Karma.
Yeah, so they fill in the jungle pool here, and they're going to try and take away Graves for some AD threat, because they already have Swain. That's going to be a lot of AP. Karma is technically a flex pick for them as well. But that kind of balances out their damage profile. But I want to talk about, again, the second half of the first round lock-in there for Team Liquid was the Lucian, which is huge. The reason why I said Team Liquid, they live and die by the play of their solo laners is because Piglet has been so consistent. They can almost always count on Piglet to deliver and be a consistent damage source from the backline. Now that he has Lucian, one of the premier AD carries on this patch, I definitely expect Team Liquid to play around that duo lane. And we'll see maybe some extra visit there from Moon. If it's not just for ganking, maybe warding, trying to scout out the enemy jungler with the Tremor Sense as well. And, when you do see Lucian on one side and Ezreal's not banned, a lot of the times he does show up. But we have seen a lot of importance put on speed boost as well. So maybe a Sivir could find himself. There's the Siege option, though. Caitlyn does come in. So Maokai and Caitlyn, a lot of very sturdy team fight set up there for Envy.
And Lot has shown his comfort on Caitlyn. I believe he played it yesterday.
Yeah.
So he is very comfortable on the champion, and we should be expecting some great things from him over the course of this match in order to deal with that. But now it's up to the support for Team Liquid. The final pick, Nami being hovered right now by Matt.
Yeah, Nami being hovered right now. She is really popular, does have the sustain. I always love seeing Matt's Bard. It's not going to be the case this time around. I mean, there's a huge amount of playmaking with it, but with what Team Envy are showing, it looks like Team Liquid do want that sustain for the bottom lane, and Lucian plus Nami does have the potential to go aggressive as well. So maybe Team Liquid will try and play around that.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out of Team Liquid's composition. They really have a lot of flexibility.
Yes, they do. I think that they're also pretty scared about, you know, if you head into a Caitlyn Karma lane, that's a huge amount of poke and a lot of damage that you're going to be taking if they don't lane swap here. So, going to need some extra sustain, and Nami's going to be the choice.
Yeah, the very bruiser-oriented team on EnVy looking to do some damage as everyone has now locked in and they're getting ready.
Pretty good power picks from both sides, actually. I think this is a decently even draft from both teams, and it is going to come down to execution. There is also one little wrinkle here, is that there's an extra teleport for EnVy coming from the mid lane, so maybe you have to keep your eyes a little bit more peeled, you know, towards that bottom lane if you are Team Liquid, because you could be outnumbered. Maybe FeniX will just get an early step, try and roam with Viktor, but he's running cleanse right now, just in case, you know, if you're playing against Swain, never move lands. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, well, that's our last stop before we spawn onto the Rift. Tweet out your predictions with the hashtag TLWin or hashtag EnVyWin, and let us know who you think will take this series as we load onto the Rift for our first game between EnVy and Team Liquid.
All right, both junglers going to start out with the classic machete and refillable potion. Sometimes you'll see Graves go with the talisman for some extra mana regeneration, but he definitely doesn't need it. And we'll see if they do standard routes as well, because as of right now, everyone fanning out for standard lanes.
A little bit of harass finds Lod, just to bully him away. Nothing too scary. The ward actually does survive, so minor consolation there in that.
Well, wants to even up that cash. Oh, gets one as well.
So just one charge on that Frost Thief, Spell Thief.
Spell Thieves. And each stealing from the other. Yeah, I mean, man, this is just actually going to be very standard here, but the recall does come in from Team Liquid duo lane, and both of them now hovering on the top side. This might be a blind match for the lane swap call here. I think Lourlo would be pretty happy taking his matchup, Ekko into Maokai for the solo. But Piglet and Matt will have to be careful with the first few steps. The early stages versus Caitlyn Karma can really determine a lot of how that lane goes. You know, if Hakuho lands the first couple empowered, you know, mantra Qs, or if he face checks, he's going to be the one taking the bubble. So this is going to be huge.
Down to 200 health, 100. The attack lands, but heal is used, and Hakuho gets out. That's 3 summoners for not dropping a ward.
Well, those first few seconds there, Dom, determine a lot. Let's see how Piglet and Matt try and take control here.
Lod's trying to play forward, but with Hakuho such low health, it's so dangerous.
Yeah, that face check, you see the level 2 now. You're going to get zoned out completely. Really good job there by Piglet and Matt pressing this, zoning them off of as many melees as they possibly could. Matt is going to have the sustain as well, so they can continue to play up in this lane. They also know that Graves started bottom lane. You got to take all the information available to you this early on, since the duo came to face check. It's highly probable that Graves started on that bottom side. Technically, you know, Graves can start wherever he wants, because he gets that knockback on his auto, and he doesn't lose much life at all in the jungle. But yeah, they're going to pressure up pretty far here. Matt also putting out that early trinket ward just in case Graves was going to come try and even things up.
Yeah, already we can see Lod is suffering quite a bit. He's missed almost 2 minion waves now.
Yeah, that's such a costly face check. And we actually saw games yesterday determine the entire game off of a face check in the level 1, snowballing very hard. Procxin here, going to go in and steal away the blue, though, as Moon went for the hard farm. Currently, they're going to be even in experience, but more camps available here. Actually, they are going to have a convergence on this Scuttle Crab, and Graves should be able to get the advantage here. Can't tango with him at this stage.
So strong early on. It's just really difficult to keep track, and Piglet with the level 3 trades it back. Hakuho's fully healed up, and Piglet takes a big chunk.
Yeah, I mean, if Team Liquid, their game plan heading into this wasn't already to play around the duo lane, play around Piglet, it should be now, because they have a very good advantage up there. The good thing for EnVy, though, is that, you know, Karma Caitlyn can play fairly far back and safe and just go for CS. Seraph down on the bottom side, though, not going to have the same.
Lourlo's sticking to him. There's actually a teleport coming in. As he chases forward, flash, Lourlo's caught, first blood onto Seraph.
And that was that extra wrinkle we mentioned in Champion Select. Swain bringing the teleport, whereas FeniX went cleanse because he's scared of the never move plus Graves ganks. And this one turns around the first blood. Moon's first real gank there gets turned around very quickly, and Lourlo gets CC locked. Teleport is down, flash is down, and Seraph is going to be very happy about that one.
Yeah, suddenly a lot more comfortable in that solo lane.
Yeah, I mean, we get another look at it. You know, if you look at this in isolation, hey, that's a great move to go for, but you always got to keep in mind the possibilities, the moves that your opponent can possibly make. Five-man game, team game here.
Oh, the tether doesn't land, and Matt barely escapes. He doesn't have flash, but thankfully, neither does Hakuho.
All right, he's gonna find safety in the brush here, and Piglet gonna try and zone off some more minions. He's gonna do it as well, so should be able to hold this wave right in front of the turret. Perfect spot for them, and that will allow Matt to go unpunished for that amount of damage he took. Get off a recall and be back in lane just in time. Piglet, meanwhile, just going to soak up extra experience, keep that wave right perfectly nice in front of his turrets, and increase his CS lead.
Yeah, just try to continue to maintain that advantage. And Laud, after his recall, he's actually going to pick up a cull on his way back into lane. So taking his time with this, as he's going to try to recover and coup back some of that gold lost from those early minions.
Yeah, and Team Liquid, you know, they can try and force things on this lane. If Caitlyn, who's already behind, Caitlyn needs the items to scale up anyway, and she's already behind in lane, plus she goes Cull. If you force all lanes, if EnVy ever fight you up on that top side and the numbers of champions are equal, Team Liquid should be able to enlarge their lead. As of right now, though, I'm going to be visiting mid. Don't think he was seen by the...
Whoa, flash knockup. They destroy Ninja, but the binding under the turret.
And he gets out of the circle.
Oh, barely makes it out alive.
Yeah, the double pink wards there on the top side. Very clear path for Moon to go in. We've seen this so often. Every single Rek'Sai, basically, that we've had. Mid lane gank, you go for the early tunnel flash play just to at least try and burn a flash from the mid laner. At best, you get the kill here because Ninja did not have his flash ready from the teleport counter gank that he played down on bottom side. So we're seeing the ramifications of that choice play out in mid lane, and Moon does make him pay. Plus, that gets Rek'Sai level 6, can now use the ultimate to farm quicker and try and catch up to Procxin there in the jungle farm.
Good play out of Moon, showing some of that communication with the team that he's been playing with now for the past week or so. As he's trying to keep pace, currently the 1 assist, doing well in the jungle so far, and now Ninja on the respawn immediately heads back in and clears out the wave as Swain is wont to do.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about Swain now, too, the best changes to him. I mean, everyone's going to be, oh, yeah, the flat healing for his ultimate, that's great. That definitely has a lot to do with it. But the best feeling change, at least for me, is the increase in ability to farm easily, because your bird's going to do it for you and gets those automatic executions on the minions. So when you go for an all-in like that and you're just spewing out all this AoE damage, your bird is actually getting all those last hits almost perfectly for you as well. Uh-oh, more focus on mid, though. FeniX!
Yeah, they're diving onto him. There goes Seraph with the kill. He's bound down now and destroyed Seraph with another kill.
Whoa, shotgun, point blank there, and Procxin's going to be able to even use the ultimate to knock himself right back out of the gravity field so they don't even stick around. Very, very clean, quick execution between the turrets, and FeniX annihilated. Cleanse is not going to save you there.
EnVy answer back on the aggression mid lane, trying to keep that lane in equilibrium, as we can see Lourlo jumping around a bit, just trying to be a distraction. But again, Piglet has been allowed to just farm up top.
Yeah, Piglet and Matt doing a pretty good job up in the top side, but the gold is still really close. Really only difference is about 300, which is basically a non-assisted kill there for EnVy, and this is going to come down to more of the mid game. positioning for these team fights. Let's see how well Ninja plays to the bomb side, because those 2 pink wards up on top side for Team Liquid still standing. So much river control for Moon and Team Liquid up on that top side of the river. It's not going to go in and clear out that ward. Now, this is a conscious choice, by the way, by the jungler. You never want to reveal yourself if it's not necessary. Yes, hey, he was close to it. He could have gotten it a bit earlier, but if at all you have a choice, always elect for one of your laners to clear their own wards for you if they're sitting on a pink ward like that, because it just gives you so much. Never mind.
Finds a bit of damage. Matt is going to take quite a bit back. There goes the tidal wave, and Summoner Heal is used as well. Hakuho is chunked. There's the exhaust. Moon ganking from behind is looking for Hakuho. There's a teleport coming in from Lourlo to try to get in.
Messy.
He's trying to turn this fight around as Piglet kites away from Ninja. Lourlo and Moon are going deep. They get one, and Lourlo gets out, but now they have to go through Swain. Moon is solo, but he's still alive.
He can run them all off.
Ninja can't make up his mind. Finally, he's going to go down. Matt is almost certainly going to follow. Ninja lets him go, and Lourlo's out of there.
Oh, 2 people from both teams go down. So in the end, kills are even, but minion lane, actually, it's not even going to be lost. Piglet's going to think about staying around. Procxin's ward, though, scares him away. And man, everybody up in the top side, 10-man party, looks like comes out fairly even, and it's only changed the gold by about 100. Minion wave here will be actually caught by FeniX as well. Viktor going to come right up the middle. Should be able to catch that one as it hits the turret. So let's take a look at how that one went down, because the double teleports do come in. Matt here takes a lot of harass, and that's why EnVy think that they can go aggressive. And you see the Swain teleport is going to be channeled in that lane right next to Matt as he steps on the trap. But regardless, down on the bottom side, Lourlo goes for this dive with the Ekko. He does get the execution there, ults himself back out. And Ninja's surrounded, but they're all low health members, and he's Swain with the ultimate up. So gets to pick and choose his targets. Can't quite finish off Matt. He's not fast enough right now. Looks like he might not have had boots at that point. If he did, it were just a brown bag one. So still moving pretty slow. In this game, very tight, Dom.
Yeah, it sort of speaks to Team Liquid's strategy, you know, keep those solo lanes doing strong. FeniX getting protected by Moon early on, and the double wards in that mid lane to make sure that FeniX is safe. Lourlo's already comfortable enough, but Moon with the deep invade, he's found Procxin.
Predicted the path that was a gank down bottom, and just gonna exit here. So no confrontation, but yeah, a lot of the, evenness of this game as well is going to be because both these teams actually are kind of rely on winning out on one of the team fights towards the mid game. We'll both have fairly similar setups here. FeniX going to do his best to try and wave clear on Viktor in the mid lane. And both junglers are attracted.
Oh, Moon is in the middle. He's going to be right on top of the Never move. Taking a bit of damage here, but Moon is already nice and tanky. Just takes the trade and gets out.
Yeah, pretty much every Rek'Sai we've seen building full tank. Moon is actually deviating a bit because a lot of them have been going Sightstone before upgrading for the Cinder Hulk. But Cinder Hulk post level 6 actually does more damage over time now. Got that small buff. Whoa, gonna help him clear a lot. Hakuho takes the
calling and ignite. It's a kill, but Piglet's low. He's going to drop his Lord. Finally gets revenge for that laning phase.
Yeah, pretty good exchange there for EnVy because now Caitlyn gets the CS in lane. Trading support for AD carry is great anytime you can take it, but mid lane now under attack again.
Yeah, looping back around Moon. Lightning will strike the same place twice, and Procxin does the same thing from the opposite direction. FeniX is going to get out.
Ooh, quick dodges there, and Seraph roaming down is actually going to mean they're going to pressure this turret, whereas Lourlo gets free time up top to CS, pushes the wave into the turret, and mid lane actually might even go... No, not down.
Yeah, it takes some damage.
Take a beating, though.
It does lose some health there as Matt has to catch up, along with Moon trying to hold on while FeniX recalls, but Ninja... That Swain is just healing so much. Lourlo's on the side, though.
Coming around. It looks like we have our first real big deviation here. The Lucian with the Ghost Blade for Piglet is going to be a lot more effective than Laud is on this Caitlyn before Laud can start stacking up. Infinity Edge plus my crit item. And we'll see if Team Liquid, as we said, play around Piglet. He's going with the early Ghost Blade build. He's got great dueling power. They can definitely force something early around this side, but the traps here from Lod cut off at least that gank path. That panic pink ward there was put down earlier, I think.
He's not going to fall for that gank from the side once again as Moon gets back in the lane and blue buff is about to be handed over. A lot of focus on this bottom side right now. We're hitting some pretty major power spikes as Rod of Ages is also completed on Ninja. And that Infernal Drake isn't going to take itself. Somebody's got to start looking in that direction.
Well, everybody wants it, but game's too close right now to just start that off without, either someone showing top or someone committing a lot of resources to a different side. Especially since EnVy have double teleport and FeniX is not really in control of mid lane, even though the CS numbers say he's doing really good keeping up and actually even beating the Swain. He doesn't really have what we call lane control or kill pressure, as Swain is playing very far up, Ninja's constantly shoving the wave in and forcing FeniX to hover around his turrets. As you can see here, Matt actually coming in to try and help with that. Getting some true sight for themselves.
Final wave is going to miss. Ninja's going 1v3. He's still alive. Finally going low, and he's healing so much. Finally drops the binding, finds FeniX, but he cleanses out. Seraph and Procxin are backing away, but they're backed against the wall. They're picked off. Lourlo gets the kill as the 4 members of Liquid get 2.
Yeah, backs against the wall there, and it looks like Procxin actually ults the Grave ultimate knockback right into the wall as well. Can't get away, so Team Liquid, decisive convergence on mid lane earns them not only those kills, but the Infernal Drake you were talking about. The prize will be taken here, as there's no smite for EnVy, so it would have to be some stray random damage from a very curious bottom lane to come up, but it's not going to happen, and Team Liquid earn their prize after that mid lane move.
Here's another replay of that fight. Matt starts it off.
All right, so this is a 4-man convergence for Team Liquid on the mid lane to take down this Swain, and it takes everybody's coordination. Now they turn their sights on Procxin. He gets a very small knockback there with his ultimate. It doesn't actually matter though, because he was surrounded anyway, and he wasn't getting out regardless. So 2 people lose their lives for that, and really the biggest difference is the Infernal Drake going down. Everybody's favorite Drake. That 8% extra going to do a lot for them. And the next one, let's check in on that, is also going to be an Infernal Drake. Now, one of the big things, everyone loves, obviously, damage. So that's why everyone's favorite Drake is Infernal. But it's such a snowbally one. It gives you the biggest advantage if your team is able to get that first one. A really, really big emphasis on the consecutive ones as well. So we'll see if Team Liquid can keep it up, because stacking multiple Infernal Drakes is the dream. Especially when both teams here looks like they're going to be concentrating on, team fighting and AoE fighting quite often.
Yeah, especially on a team like Team Liquid. So fond of those skirmishes.
Yeah, maybe EnVy here with running the Caitlyn and the Karma can keep the Caitlyn Karma safe for long enough to stack up items and just try and play around sieges, just try and play safe with the traps. Wait till Lod can stack up and get his crit multipliers helping out. Piglet right now is actually stacking up a lot of cash, 1,600 in his inventory, so he's trying to save up for his cleaver. But Lod's got even more. Sitting on 2,400 for Lod. They definitely don't want to fight. His gold did pop, so that helped out with the gold differential there, and he's going to be able to actually complete Infinity Edge pretty soon here. That plus Zeal means he's going to get some decent crits off.
And it looks like he decides to go for the Runaans this time. I know there have been a lot of conversations.
Yeah, I mean, the headshots stacking up so quickly just feels really nice. Plus, it helps out with wave clear if they do want to try and stall out a little bit more. I just love early Infinity Edge crits because catches people off guard.
It feels so satisfying, yeah.
They
when
really
someone
do.
steps on a trap and you just bop them for 500 damage. Rift Herald going to take a little bit of damage from Lourlo and Moon, but Procxin scares them away. As we're 18 minutes in, there's only about a minute and a half left before that Rift Herald despawns, and so far this game has been pretty calm, pretty even, as everyone has been content to skirmish it out, really just sort of get a feel for the enemy team before trying to make anything too drastic happen.
Yeah, I think if it is going to be someone to force, it will be Team Liquid, and they want to obviously do it around Piglet, around this bottom lane, but this defense that Lot is setting up with the traps, the fortifications are in, His Runons is done early, as he said, so he'll be able to wave clear, and I think that EnVy are going to set themselves up with a very easily defensible position down here on the bottom side. So all that really requires now is for the Maokai and the Swain to play a little bit safer and wait on using their double teleports.
And that doesn't seem like that's a very hard thing for either Maokai or Swain to do.
Yep. I mean, yeah, because they don't have a play-making jungler is the reason why I bring that up. You know, Graves is great in adding damage, but it would be Seraph or Ninja setting up that gank. The CC is coming from the laners rather than from the jungler.
And that is what we saw yesterday with Procxin, Ninja, and Seraph, the trio multiple times diving the top lane of energy over and over to compound the advantages that they have. So this time they're keeping it separate, keeping it slower, and just content to scale up and let Lod get those power spikes, as you mentioned. Rift Herald now has despawned. Goodbye, Herald. We'll see you soon.
All right. While he's despawning as well, Rek'Sai moving in on the top side. We just saw Procxin show his face on bottom side, so Moon's going in for some counter jungling up on the top side, and maybe sticks around, but Maokai right now, full health, under turret, full defense, is not a very juicy target, so he's going to go ahead back to farming, try and build up his own tankiness here.
It really is difficult to kill those solo lanes. I mean, the Swain and the Maokai, sure, you've got Rek'Sai for knockup, but two people aren't going to be able to kill any one of them.
Exactly, and all they have to do is buy time for the teleport of the other solo laner to come in, and they should be able to hold out for that defense. That's why we're having a kind of a slow mid-game here. No team really with a large advantage to be able to force anything. It's just way too risky to force anything. There's a Maokai lane, super tanky. Swain lane, ridiculous regeneration. And then Caitlyn Karma has not only all the traps we talked about, but Karma's speed boost enables them to dodge most aggressive plays. So there is going to be a stall here until we see the next Infernal Drank spawn. That might draw everyone out.
Yeah, only 30 seconds away as Piglet takes an ace in the hole for a headshot for just a bit of trade as he continues to farm it up. Only a 20 CS lead over Lod now, but that is a completed Infinity Edge and Runans on Lod. Piglet has not yet finished his Black Cleaver, though he is on the way with his Jolters and the Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, if we're looking at items right now and you're going over really big completions, another one on Team Liquid's side is the Morellonomicon for FeniX. So if they get Swain low, he can apply that Grievous Wound, and that will relieve some of the pressure and some of the frustrations with killing that champion, trying to execute him when he is down there. But Lod now has also finished the Infinity Edge, so that's the other really big ticket item. Talk about, she really starts taking off once you get the compounding crit builds. Everybody definitely focusing on bottom lane as well, as expected. The war over vision is really the only action, though.
I mean, we did just see Moon down there looking for the three-man gank, but just a quick blue trinket scan spots that out, and Moon has to get out of there. So pretty patient game. And yeah, there's the Black Cleaver.
All right, Ninja going to try and clear this wave, and they move in to set up with the dragon. Infernal Drake ready here for the taking. Looks like they're going to be able to get it. That mid lane pressure that we talked about, Ninja's control over mid lane, even though he's down in CS, you know, he is missing a lot of last hits. They've taken the mid turret, you know, they pulled off that dive on FeniX. They also were able to set up this ward line. You see this curve down here in the river around Dragon. They're very safe in taking that Infernal, so they can even up those Dragon stats. And man, this game, dead even at the moment. Same dragons, same gold.
And we did take that mid lane turret a little bit earlier on. No vision right now. He's going to spot out Lod and Hakuho. Piglet dashes out of the snare. Barely bats an eye as he does it, as the vision again continues to be combated. But the poor timing on the recall from Team Liquid did seed over that dragon. So it's going to be at least until the 28.5-minute mark before we see another one. Maybe a chance for some more action during that time.
Yeah, and even when we get to the team fights, it is actually going to be a fairly extended team fight, I believe, because if you look at the side of EnVy, they're very, very tanky. All of them have various abilities to sustain themselves, and Caitlyn, being extremely long range, can just use that range to stay safe and position well. So for Team Liquid, it's going to be difficult to find their first kill, unless they catch somebody out. Meanwhile, Matt actually is going to have to worry about his positioning quite a lot as well. One of the things about Nami, she is extremely squishy. Can't afford to get Maokai, just in advance, sped up by the Karma speed onto her. Take a nice calming look at this battle here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Walk me through the Maokai tank Ekko trades.
Well, first you get out your folding chair.
One of them's got a bat.
You open up your umbrella.
All right.
And you sit down and relax for a little bit. All right, so let's actually talk a little bit about how Moon has been fitting in. So far, his communication with the team seems like it's pretty sharp. He's looked for a couple ganks over the course of this game. He's not quite as spectacular as Darnock was at the end of the season, but that's to be expected from his first stage game with the new team.
Yeah, and the way, Rek'Sai is being used right now is not in a spectacular fashion. They go full tank, control vision. The siege right now, though, is being set up. They're trying to use Caitlyn offensively now with the traps. A lot of damage being put down. And during this whole time, remember that Maokai is split pushing foe. EnVy now finally pushing really, really aggressively, and they're going to get this objective pretty much for free. Team Liquid have given up hope on that turret, and they're just trying to salvage their jungle before they give up control of this side of the map. So really nice push there from EnVy moving in to get that extra global gold. Remember, they're the ones who had the mid turret as well. So they're stacking up these objectives. Only one left, and then they can start moving up their ward line slowly but surely. Really nice little siege right there. They use the Graves ultimate as well for a nice AoE burst on harassing them away from the turret. Lod packing up all of his traps and dropping them down. Here goes Lourlo with the answer up top, though. And Team Liquid gets some gold back for themselves.
Yeah, first turret of the game for Team Liquid, but still dead even in gold between the two. Here comes Hakuho, though.
Yeah, EnVy actually, I don't know if Seraph had to leave top lane that early. You can see what they were opting for there. They're like, you know what, we want to send Karma and Caitlyn up top so we can take that last outer turret, and we can kind of complete our rotation here and start moving into the jungle. But they actually give up top and bottom now, so Team Liquid actually decently happy after losing that bottom turret to be able to trade back almost both of these. Piglet's going to have a hard time with this Guardian Angel Maokai finishing off that one, and is going to have to back away. By the way, that's really surprising because, whoa, never mind, I'm going to have some aggression. Procxin goes so far.
He's caught in the bubble. Enhanced with Hakuho at his back. He's going to walk boldly forward. A little bit of an interesting shape coming out for Lod as he walls off that turret. And he's able to take it down while Team Liquid are distracted.
Yep, going to be able to finish the trio as we were talking about the outside turrets. But anyways, I want to return to this Guardian Angel pickup because it is a little bit surprising to a lot of viewers. We're recently seeing it a lot more in the LCS now. This has been buffed several times in the last few patches. The most recent buff was a cost reduction of 300, while only removing 15 magic resist, and magic resist has a value of 18 gold per magic resist if you value it based off the smallest component of the no magic mantle. So that's only 270 as far as stats that you lost. Plus, overall, if you're just removing stats and equal gold value, then it actually increases the value of the item, because mostly what you're looking for when you buy that item is not the stats, is obviously the passive.
Yeah.
So relatively, you're getting the passive a lot quicker, a lot easier without having to drop much of an investment. And it looks like it's done the job. Designers want to see more Guardian Angels built. Well, they've got it.
Yeah.
And the cheaper ones are up. So Maokai going to not only be extremely frustrating and tanky on the front line, but going to have a regrowth component.
Yeah, now that dragon is going to spawn in 40 seconds. You can see EnVy once again setting up vision all across the river and the deep jungle of Team Liquid. That's another Infernal Drake. This would be the second for either of the two teams, and right now EnVy are prepared for it.
The game is doing everything in its power to get more action. They're like, you know what, we want fights. Infernal Drake for you, Infernal Drake for you. Let's get another one on the table, but maybe we'll see the all-in in the next team fight, because, turrets are going down. So if Team Liquid commit to it, they won't have a lot of defense to retreat to. Their outer turrets are gone. Gonna be able to fight for this vision though, and Pink Ward is claimed.
Oh, there's a teleport from Seraph. He's looking to collapse onto Team Liquid. Matt is split off. There's a never move on to FeniX. Matt is caught. He can't catch up with the rest of his team. He goes low. Oh, and he flashes the wall. He's still alive. There's the tidal wave to separate it, and suddenly it's Seraph who's too far. He's got the GA, but the front line of Liquid are chasing onto Procxin. They can't kill anyone though. FeniX and Piglet are doing work to Seraph. He's so tanky, but there's the GA we talked about. Ninja split in the beginning, already dead. Now there's Seraph back up. He's solo. Hakuho takes some punishment. He's gonna drop down, and this game is blown open for Team Liquid.
Ninja died so early in that team fight. My goodness, the Swain gets annihilated, and then Team Liquid pick up the scraps. That is such a good feeling. The first Guardian Angel passive provides most of the value in the team fight because you're not used to having them pop back up, but they pretty much get to take it out and then kill them afterwards for free there, with a huge swing for Team Liquid. They get their mid-turret gold as well, plus they're gonna be able to stack second Infernal Drake on top of this, and that is our first really substantial swing in this game. We're gonna have to get another look at how Ninja got caught out because he died so early in this. Yeah, he's chasing Piglet here by himself. He sees the AD carry, but Piglet is the Ghost Blade Cleaver Lucian. You can't just close on him and burst him out. He takes down Ninja, and then they turn on the rest of the team. Really good aggressive follow-up from the front line of Moon and Lourlo there. They chased off the backside because there's not much damage left in it. And Team Liquid just clean up. Absolutely huge for them. The mid-game team fight we said was what was going to determine it for these two comps. And man, Team Liquid should be able to run with this one.
Yeah, such a clean front backline setup from Team Liquid. Being able to get Lourlo and Moon to dive in deep and keep FeniX and Piglet safe in the back, just very clean communication.
Yeah, that being said, EnVy still do have the Caitlyn to try and rely upon for later in the game. No, Caitlyn sitting behind a Maokai is very difficult to get to.
Well, I mean, that's great and all, but that's still a 4-minute cooldown now for Seraph's Guardian Angel. Now they just have to kill him once.
True enough, level 16 for him is going to feel pretty good, but Team Liquid also have the experience advantage in addition to the gold advantage across the board here for themselves. So let's see if they can actually make a move in pushing up their vision. As of right now, Ninja split pushing because he's got his teleport off cooldown, so he's on split push duty with the Swain. Nobody can really go solo him. He does have to be careful though. He's pushing up pretty far. He doesn't have any vision.
Whoa. Sneaky Baron trying to be started by EnVy. It's going to be spotted with a blue trinket. And Team Liquid, they've got the fast track down mid lane.
Yeah, one of the reasons we've seen Karma almost 100% pick ban though is this speed boost. And they actually call off it. Ninja teleporting solo into this turret.
He's got his Zhonya's. That turret is solo. Here comes Seraph, but the turret's still alive. Team Liquid aren't able to get it, and they're backing out now. They get some free damage and back off.
Yeah, Zhonya's is a pretty long cooldown as well. So teleports both down now for EnVy. The increased cooldown on that Zhonya is not going to be available for Ninja if Team Liquid now decide to force it. And they very well might because they have everything up. They're the ones with Lourlo having TP advantage, and now he's just going to run straight in.
Yeah, face checks a brush, gets caught in the CC. He does have his ultimate, but he can't use it while he's snared. He drops to Laud.
Face check when they don't have Piglet. Piglet, as we said, is the key. He's the main damage dealer on Team Liquid. They have to play around him. Huge costly mistake there for Team Liquid, and now it's EnVy looking to punish.
Here comes Laud. He's got his traps ready, but he's not even going to take the time to drop them. There he goes, starting to set up that line as he looks for the tier 2 with Procxin. They've got enough attack damage. It's going to go down in answer.
Yep, Caitlyn sets up the trap line. That's going to be a turret. Thank you very much.
32.5 minutes in, Team Liquid, after taking a successful fight, suddenly falter. A bit of a mistake from Lourlo. They end up paying the price with that tier 2 turret.
That's why Mama always told me, you know, put your work in for the Vision game. Vision pays off, my friend. And all this work that EnVy have been doing with the pink wards and all the green wards on top of those around Baron Pit earns them door right back into this game.
Your mom is very forward-thinking.
She's also great at League of Legends. Just kidding. She's bronze.
Well, vision is still important at bronze, as much as people like to disagree and ignore those side stones.
Hey, most people are bronze, right?
But hey, if she's bronze and she still knows about wards, that bodes well.
Well, Piglet actually going with a pretty interesting variation of the Black Cleaver Ghostblade build here, going really heavy into the bruiser mentality. Going to get Blade of the Ruin King next for himself as well. I actually really do like that with Cleaver, because you're not going a crit build, so he's just fully committing to this. He's going to shred armor. He's also going to do percentage health as physical damage, so he's actually building to chop down this tree. He's chopping down the front line. Both the Maokai and the Ninja are viable targets for him.
Yeah, with his guns, he's going to chop down a tree.
Yeah, chop him down with the guns. Very effective
Keep
use.
shooting at it, and eventually, well, he does have an axe in his inventory, so we'll see if he's able to use it. A little bit of movement around the map now for Team Liquid. They feel particularly emboldened by those dragons that they have. Another one is going to spawn.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's actually going to be Elder that spawns afterwards. So those are the only elemental drakes.
The boldest of men will not go taste one of those Caitlyn cupcakes, though, because if you have played League of Legends for even a little bit of time, you know that trap.
It's a trap.
They're not even sneaky traps anymore. They get laid out in a giant line. It's more like those spike lines that they lay out.
For drawing a line in the sand. Cross this
clearly.
line and oh, you did it.
All right, meanwhile, Team Liquid going to try and return to the 4-1 here. Everybody's going to go do their part to get around the trap line. FeniX actually steps on that, and they only needed one more hit, so that will be enough to take it. Lourlo doing work, split pushing down bottom with the Ekko, gets the minion wave all the way up to the turret, and every hit on that turret counts. He got one in. It was Iceborne Gauntlet empowered as well. So
Gotta feel good about that.
you can see the after effects. Meanwhile, this focus on vision around Baron's still there for Envy. It paid off before, and they're not going to give up on it. Still with a lot of defensive warding in their blue quadrant of the jungle leading up to it, and going in to clear out Baron.
Yeah, the Elder Dragon just spawning now, almost immediately after that 35-minute mark. And there currently is vision for Team Liquid, but Envy taking the concession on the other side. They've got vision around the Baron pit.
Yeah, it's so hard for Team Liquid, to continue to play aggressively. This is a Caitlyn spamming her traps. Maokai's passive is back up. Guardian Angel's ready to pop for him, so they have extremely durable front line. They've got the support comment for extra speed ups and shields for the squad. And it's going to take a full commitment if we're going to see more than a single person going down from face checking, something like the pink warded brush as we saw before. It's going to have to be a full commitment into the team fight from both sides. As of right now, though, it's just a battle over vision, wave clearing around mid lane. Envy still with the focus on Baron. Gonna try and go for bait number 2 here.
Yeah, Lourlo splitting in the bottom lane right now, looking back for that tier 2 as Envy baited out in the pixel brush. Piglet will spot it out, and Seraph catches him despite the flash, and he's going to take a lot of damage. Piglet's dead, and Seraph is still in the back line. Lourlo joins in, but his AD carry is gone. They're still able to get one as Procxin falls. Ninja buying time while FeniX is kited out, and Lourlo is trying to get out of this, but Ninja is able to zone away the rest of Team Liquid. It's 2 for 1, favoring Envy.
Yeah, the entire back line there for Team Liquid gets annihilated. And man, Karma speed up into the flash Maokai. Twisted advance, and he already bought his ticket. He's going to follow you no matter where you go. Piglet can't get away. That check on the pixel brush, they knew they were in there, and it cost them.
Oh, they turn on to Moon now. They're so tanky, dodging the stun from Lourlo, and Seraph
Getting burned down by the laser.
He's taking so much damage, but he's so big, and he gets out with his life. Nobody dies, and the turret stays standing.
So all in all, Team Liquid don't even lose much off of that fight. Yes, they had an extra person go down, so there was that minute amount of gold at this point in the game, but they don't lose an objective. They actually get to chase Envy down the lane.
Oh, Moon gets a knock up onto 2. Lourlo is trying to catch up. He dashes forward, but Seraph is teleporting in. He's got full health and a fresh Guardian Angel.
Told you this could be a long team fight, Stom.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very long team fights indeed.
We gotta
And
pace ourselves for this.
in the end, it's just the extra 1 kill that does go over. Everybody get back on that vision game, boys. Back to your homework. All right,
man.
but yeah, they knew they were in there. They're like, we gotta face check this because there's a small chance they're on Baron. But man, Piglet, even though, boom, he immediately tries to heal flash away from it. Twisted Advance is already coming for him, and he goes down with it. But the return kill is pretty big here. The Viktor damage underestimated, and FeniX was able to claim that one for Team Liquid. So in the end, they are able to defend off it. Viktor still stands. They have that wave clear. Then Seraph actually gets some minion blocking, and they get split a little bit there, going for the dive. The turret for Team Liquid did so much damage in that turret dive.
I don't think I've ever seen it power up that much.
The full power laser.
For that long. Oh man, that turret was hoping someday it could turn into a Death Star and just fully shred through, but you can't even cut down one
Death
tree.
Stars aren't even scary anymore. I mean, they have them in every single movie. How can you... Think of something new, bad guys.
Oh man. I know, if it didn't work once, we'll just make it bigger.
Power this one with the sun!
That's what we did with Dragon!
All right, well, let's see if anybody's able to make a move on this map, because, my goodness, really, we haven't moved an inch.
Nope.
Everybody's fighting over vision around Baron. They actually aren't even going towards Elder Dragon. It actually takes a bit longer to take than Baron at this point. And the focus here on setting up for this Baron without anyone getting picked off is really all about bush control. You know, Maokai this time around doesn't have flash, but neither does Piglet. So Lucian gonna have to rely on his own dashes and, you know, Black Cleaver empowered mobility, Blade of the Ruin King empowered mobility to survive.
Team Liquid get vision around the Baron, but Envy trade off. Large minion wave bottom means they've got to choose vision over Baron or damage on that bottom tier 2 turret.
And once again, I really do like this Envy squad for the late game fight. They've got Caitlyn trapped. She can cut off almost the entire river while they started out and tank it with Maokai, so they basically take no damage. Karma Shields do come in, and they're just daring Team Liquid to step in.
Oh,
3,000 health is going down!
On the Baron. Lourlo gets a huge stun. They're trying to finish it off. It's secured by Envy. The culling is in the front. Ninja's obliterated by FeniX, and Lourlo is still alive. He gets back in on this Seraph as FeniX and Piglet kite it out as best they can. Procxin and Lot have got a lot on their shoulders here. Lourlo's on top of a trap. He's going to drop. Seraph gets caught, but he doesn't even pop his Guardian Angel. It ends up being a 2-for-1, but Envy get that Baron.
Oh man, Caitlyn's super late game is so annoying. Large line of traps, denying the all-in, gets to sit back and free fire with the crit build, and Lot put out a lot of damage in this fight. All right, Ninja trying to zone. He's holding the door here next to the traps. Lourlo tries to go in, but there's nobody who's going to be able to get that steal. Moon's a little bit late on the entry. They do get that early pick here with FeniX's damage. But man, the Maokai on the front line, nobody can really get past them. Lourlo's Guardian Angel is popped, and then he goes down right afterwards, but Seraph able to stay alive.
Oh, and now
the answer Elder Dragon rush here. Can they burn it down?
Well, this is Envy. They've got the Baron buff right now. They know they've got some map control, and with this, they're going to be able to secure it. Elder Dragon and Baron on Envy.
Now, just wait around for your Caitlyn to power up in your double tree here. Seraph still has Guardian Angel, so not only do they have Elder Dragon plus Baron, they have the GA on their tank available. Pretty big advantage as well. Maybe they go for this dive again. They have to be careful. Last time they went for the dive in mid, it got turned around on them. And Team Liquid do have substantial wave clear, so they're just going to try and hold this inhibitor turret line.
Yeah, they've nice and tanky. Ninja's going to teleport back in as he's just completed his final item. Picking up that Spirit Visage last on Swain. Seraph leads in with the rest of his team. It's getting slowly chunked down. The damage Lot is doing is pretty huge.
That's actually a big cooldown, though. You know, with Chaos Storms not available, it takes away so much threat from Team Liquid's counter engage. And you can see, Envy now, they don't respect it at all. They're going to push right in.
Trying to break through that inhibitor. Hakuho's in the back at low health. Doesn't want to be picked off by a straight laser. There they go, empowered. Lourlo is the target. He's nice and tanky, though. Seraph gets bounced around a bit, but he's got health enough to spare, as even a full culling from Piglet barely scratches the surface. One inhibitor goes down and Envy rotate bottom and look for the second, and Team Liquid just cannot break through that front line.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Team Liquid from Champion Select, at the very beginning of the game, wanting to play around Piglet, this Lucian with the earlier game-oriented build, and they never really pressed that advantage. They never really took Piglet when he was ahead and tried to force things. Envy did a very good job of just holding on, you know, setting up the Caitlyn traps, hard farming. Lod and Hakuho got pushed out really early with that face check, but they just were able to wait on, bide their time. Caitlyn stacks up the crit build, and now she's the one who's the real threat in these team fights. And Envy can do a lot to keep her safe with a very strong front line and the Karma mobility added in. Team Liquid really can't get back there.
Yeah, it's 2 inhibitors down for Liquid right now. Envy have got 1 lane left to shove, and suddenly 5 members are in that lane arguing over who should get the last hit on those remaining minions as they shove forward, looking to take that last inhib and crush Team Liquid in this game, number 1. It's been a slow set so far, but the end is in sight if Envy can manage to break through that 3rd inhib.
I actually am curious to hear the Envy communication, you know, like, what it's like for them, because it doesn't seem, especially if you look at their cameras, like they ever get upset. They have been playing really well together, and it's like they are going to make a very good case for themselves in day 2 as well, already taking their series yesterday, so it's going to be a very strong weekend for them. Lod setting up the traps. This turret should be a piece of cake for them. 2 lines of super minions are heading down, both mid and bottom. So Team Liquid, backs against the walls. They have to make their move now. They have to just commit everyone. You throw everything at Lod, try and get back there. Maybe they get something to blow up on him. Piglet to be able to weave in and around and survive somehow and get back out. But they don't have time. Time is not Team Liquid's friend right now. They need to just try and go for the fight, and then after they win it, they would have to clear a bunch of minions out of their base and then win another consecutive fight afterwards. As of right now, though, Envy setting up the traps again. Turret goes down.
Laser finds Hakuho. Seraph dives forward. Moon for the flank. Tries to get into the back. He has to turn onto Ninja, who goes low. There's the Ignite dropping him down. Will he be able to stay alive? Lourlo keeps himself up as well as the front lines trade, but nobody's dead yet. Moon continues to chase forward. He's just going to scare them away. That inhib is still standing, but the super minions, they're still there.
Yep, doing work. Team Liquid got to go clean them up. Piglet going to try and go do all the work himself. Envy, stick around.
Here comes Seraph. He's got his teleport now at full health. Piglet's gonna dash in, but he's right in front. Seraph dodges the bubble and turns on to Moon. Procxin takes some damage. Lourlo's in the back. Ninja's going to drop his FeniX, kills him, and Team Liquid find the fight they're looking for. It's double Guardian Angel. Procxin is going to drop. Piglet's alive! He's still doing damage in the back and no health. Lod is kiting it out as best he can. Seraph is burning down. So far, it's 1 for 2. Lourlo! It goes too deep. He's gonna pay the price, and Matt drops. It's a triple kill for Lod.
Oh my goodness, Lourlo went for the hero play right there, almost able to take out Lod, but fails and then gets it turned around on himself. That might, oh, never mind. Looks like FeniX actually gonna go for a new hero play here now. Sneaky isn't gonna be able to find anybody. There's plenty of wards for Envy as well. And Team Liquid going to try and clean up the base. There are a lot of minions in there. Envy, their work was done though. All the inhibitor turrets are down, 1 Nexus turret. Look at the way they started though, because Team Liquid actually started off really well. You can see how the Black Cleaver Blade of the Ruin King combo for Piglet here shreds the tank. He's happy to hit frontline, takes them both down. Then he's gonna jump outside the wall to finish off Procxin, and he survives. And Lod flashing forward is what spurred Lourlo on to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go for this play. Parallel converter's down. He went for it right before the Karma Shield popped on Lod. And as soon as he saw that, he was like, oh, I've made a mistake. A very dreadful mistake.
Well, so far, Team Liquid are still alive, but hanging by a thread. And that thread looked to be cut by Envy as they're taking the Baron on respawn. No challenge whatsoever from Team Liquid. And with 2 inhibitors down and no inhibitor turret on the 3rd, this Baron buff is going to do some serious work.
Yes, sir. Baron buffed up super minions that are also going to have their auras buffing up the other super minions that are in the base, which you do get to double on. And this is going to be some pressure on the inhibitors, to say the least.
Yeah, 1 respawns. No super minions just yet, so luckily the timing works out for Team Liquid, but Lod is chunking it out. He takes a laser and heals back up.
As we said, they don't have time. They just have to go for it. Throw caution to the wind. You got to go in for another one of those team fights. Try and melt frontline with Piglet. Maybe Lourlo can get a good stun on multiple people. Right now, though, the trap line, very intimidating. as Lod sets up the entire curve here, and there's only one window for Team Liquid to try and engage on. Inhibitor barely standing, Dom.
Lod is just waiting for that rapid-fire cannon. Proc Bubble's gonna miss. There's going to be the culling from Piglet. He clears out the minion wave. And, oh my
They hold!
gosh, the Inhibitor holds. EnVy let it go.
Hard to take these guys down. Viktor wave clear with the lasers, consistent. And Piglet has proven himself a worthy threat. There it goes. Charges the rapid fire back up. Comes in to finish off what he started. But now, 2 inhibitors stand. Team Liquid, they need to keep those standing. They have to force. They're looking for that opportunity, though, because they know if they fail this team fight, it is the game. That's why they're being cautious.
Trying to keep pace. Piglet remarkably going face-to-face with Ninja, but doesn't flinch in the eye of that Birdman general. Piglet's doing some serious damage right now as he tries to clear it out. Moon once again looking for a flank.
Doesn't take this one. Gonna wait for the next one. They've got a little bit of health on the inhibitor to wait for. They know that they can survive. Oh!
Matt manages to keep himself alive, but that's going to be the cleanse and the locket burn.
Well, they cannot, absolutely cannot give up 3 inhibitors.
I feel like we said the same thing about 2.
Well, I didn't, so.
Okay, well, we'll see if they can defend this one now. As minions are continuing to stream into that top lane, super minions finally catching up with the bottom, and EnVy have got these side lanes pushing
Gotta go, boys, gotta go!
So favorably. EnVy going to get onto this inhibitor. Lourlo has the convergence dropped. Moon pulls the trigger. He gets into the back. Seraph in the front. It's Piglet trying to shred through. Moon goes low. He's finally going to drop the Procxin. 5v4. Seraph is just too big, and Lourlo abandons ship. 3 inhibitors go down, and that Baron buff, he's going to be helping getting these minions on. Teleport to keep the minion alive. Piglet dodges. He's trying to solo this out. This is Piglet versus Procxin, but it's not going to be enough. The inhibitor turret, Nexus turret is finally going to go down. Team Liquid 5v4 are facing loss. If they turn this around, they can't do it. And it's EnVy who dropped the Nexus and take game number 1 against Team Liquid.
EnVy with the push in, they brute force right through Team Liquid. The unkillable front line of Maokai and Swain with the Caitlyn Graves back. There's Lod right there having success in the LCS. He's a guy who really set out to prove a lot to the fans because he is one of the lesser known names. People were not expecting a lot from him coming into the LCS, but man, is he having a great start.
Yeah, he's shown us he's got some pretty impressive play. He did show us that yesterday and again today, just so patient. And this really goes to what we were talking about with EnVy, the fact that this is a roster whose teams sort of disbanded over a long period of time, and now these guys are so happy together. They seem so content and so patient.
Yeah, and they keep winning, so you're going to be happy if you keep winning. But the other thing is that often, you know, we talk about not only how well are the guys going to play together when a new team forms like this so recently, but also how well are they going to, make decisions in game. How concise are they going to be with their communication, and how decisive are they going to be acting on that communication. They actually held together here after the face check, especially the duo lane. They remained calm and they just farmed it up, showing that you're able to play defensively and not lose your head after early things go wrong is a really good sign for them.
Yeah, some really good stuff for EnVy. But for more on that Game 1 win, let's check in with